Hey, what's going on guys? RageTrain here and welcome back to another episode of the Hypixel Skyblock series, guys. Now, to start this episode off once again, I do just want to apologize for there being a bit of a gap in between this episode and the last one. I know I definitely said that in the last video as well, but I think you guys can kind of understand why this is happening, because it's pretty much the same reason as what happened in the last video, just between me being really busy with school, as well as the Hypixel Skyblock server itself has now gone like a month and a half without an update. Just between those two things, obviously, has just been a little bit harder to make videos for you guys. But nonetheless, I obviously do have a video here for you guys today, so hopefully you are excited for it, and I think this should be a good one as well, because we are going to be covering everything that has been confirmed for the upcoming Dungeons update. At some point, we know the update is coming. Hopefully it's coming out this week Tuesday. You know, usually do updates on Tuesday, so hopefully it's coming out this week Tuesday, but we still don't really have any information in regards to a date, so it could still be even like another month or two before it comes out. Hopefully not that long, hopefully sooner rather than later. But yeah, that's all besides the point. We're gonna be covering everything that's been confirmed for it so far, as well as probably delving into a couple like rumors and kind of just some things that people are thinking maybe could be coming with the update, but also maybe not, and it could just be like total BS. But before I actually start covering the things in the update, I do want to say the majority of this information I'm going to be getting for this video is all coming from a forum post made by a user with the IGN_3 Rick, which I'm assuming might be pronounced _Eric, I'm not sure. So if you guys would like to read through that after you're done watching this video, I will be linking it in the top line of the description, so make sure you check that out if you want to. But yeah, without further ado, let's just get right into some of this update stuff. Alright, so starting us off here, I'm going to be putting up screenshots on the screen as I go through this stuff, by the way. But the first thing that has been all but confirmed basically for this upcoming update is a magic update, as well as wands and things that kind of just have to do with that category. Because if I throw this screenshot up of the leaked Revenant chestplate item that will be the next update, you will see that a part of the full set bonus is that healing wands heal plus 50%. So what this tells us is that wands will be coming with this update, obviously, because this full set bonus of healing wands healing more percentage of your health would be useless if wands didn't exist. And we can also assume that there will probably be more wands coming with this update as well, because if you go to the Mutton 9 collection, where I am right now on the screen, you will see that at 50k mutton in your collection, you will actually unlock a polymorph wand, which is currently listed as coming soon, so we don't know the stats of what this would do or how it works or anything. And so it's probably a safe bet to assume that this wand will be in the upcoming update as well. So yeah, that's the first confirmed part for this upcoming update. I think that the idea of adding like a whole new element to combat with wands is a really exciting and cool idea, and hopefully it'll change the gameplay up of Skyblock enough to keep it interesting for a long period of time again. But going back to the Revenant chestplate, that kind of leads us into the next part of the confirmed things for the update. So I'll go ahead and throw it back up on screen right now, but you can see another part of the full set bonus is that you gain 100 defense against zombies. And if you look at the peace bonus as well, you can see it has to do with zombies. I'll get more into that in a second though, because it kind of leads into a different part of things I want to talk about, I guess. But the main point here is that this piece of armor being leaked, as well as what I'll throw up on the screen right now, which is the Reaper Falcon, which you can see also gives bonuses that makes you deal more damage to zombies and take less damage from zombies. Pretty much all but confirms that there will be a dungeon that centers around zombies. If there's only one dungeon that gets released with the upcoming update, then we know that it'll probably only be focused around zombies. But for me personally, and I'm sure like all of you guys as well, I'm hoping that there's like multiple dungeons, you know, maybe somewhere in like the 3 to 4 range. And then this way we only know what one of the dungeons contains, and the rest of the dungeons will all be a surprise to everybody when the update actually gets released. But yeah, now going back to that Revenant chestplate, I know we're going all over the place with these two items. Hopefully you guys have been able to keep up so far though. If we go over to that peace bonus again, you'll actually see that at the bottom right there, you get more upgraded defense every time you hit like a milestone of zombies killed. So obviously we don't know what each of these milestones for the Revenant chestplate would be right now, but the one on like this leaked image right here, the current bonus is 300 defense, and when they hit 500,000 zombies killed, it goes up by 10 defense to 310 defense. But this is actually another thing that I think is super cool. I'm glad they're going in this direction with their like new armor sets, and hopefully with weapons and stuff as well, because as you guys will probably know, this has been done with the magma armor set as well as the hurricane bow here, which as you got more kills with the hurricane bow, it increased its stats and like its abilities and whatnot. Only problem with like the magma armor and the hurricane bow and stuff though is that they were kind of like beginning to mid-game items, and so therefore it didn't really take a long time to get them fully upgraded, and so it wasn't like a super like big grind to get like really nice stats on those weapons. So even if it was super hard to get the upgrades, you probably wouldn't have been wanting to put in the time to get them fully upgraded. But the cool thing with this Revenant set is that it looks like there's going to be like really good rewards, but like it's gonna take a lot of zombies killed to get there. But that's actually why I'm at the graveyard right now, because so far the graveyard has been kind of like a useless place, I think, on the server. I don't really think there's been much of a reason to visit here, but it looks like with this next update, this place might start to become pretty filled up as people start to try and grind towards 500,000 zombies killed. Just like with the magma armor though, I'm assuming you're gonna actually have to be wearing the Revenant set to grind towards your amount of zombies killed. So all these zombies I'm killing right now are probably not going to count towards the eventual set bonus. But yeah, all in all, I do think that adding more stuff that requires you to actually grind to get better stats and stuff will be a lot better for the game mode in the long term. So getting into this next part, we have yet another leaked item from the update. This item is the Mosquito Bow, which I will obviously throw a screenshot up of this on the screen right now, which this bow has very good stats. Currently the best bow in the game is considered to be the Runan's bow, and this bow has better stats than even the Runan's bow. So once this update releases, unless there's some other bow we don't know about, this will now be the best bow in the game. And now there are actually two other pretty big points of interest in terms of this bow in my opinion. The first one is that the item ability, which costs 11% of your mana, will heal you for 2 times the mana cost, which I think that this ability in particular is pretty interesting because it makes it seem to me that with this upcoming update, they're going to try and put more emphasis on mana, which would also make sense if they're planning on doing like a magic update and adding wands and all that stuff too, which I would assume will have a lot to do with your mana, which once again I think would be a great thing. Up to this point in Hypixel Skyblock, mana has not been anything that's too big of a deal. I think really the only thing it's been used a lot for is for people who have like the Wise Dragon set. They would use the Rogue Sword and get a lot of speed with it. But for the most part, a lot of the items abilities, even on these really good weapons, like my Aspect of the Dragons here, like this Dragon Rage ability, which costs 100 mana, it's cool and all, like has like a little effect here. But in terms of like actual combat usefulness, it doesn't really do anything that's very helpful. But obviously with this Mosquito Bow, let's say you have like an insane amount of mana, like maybe you have 1,000 mana, and if this thing costs 11% of your mana, that's 110 mana it's going to take from you. It heals for 2 times the mana cost, so it would heal you for 220 health, which is obviously a pretty decent amount of health, and if there isn't a huge cooldown on this thing, then you could kind of spam that out a little bit and heal yourself up pretty quickly. So yeah, that's what I think is like the first point of interest there on this bow. The other thing though that I think could potentially be hinting towards something else is that the name of this bow is Mosquito Bow, which I'm assuming most of these items that have been leaked are going to have to do with the dungeons themselves, and a Mosquito Bow doesn't really seem to have a lot to do with a zombie dungeon. Like, I mean, maybe someone else could think of a justification for it, but I can't really think of a reason why a zombie dungeon would reward you with the Mosquito Bow. I can't really make a connection there. So hopefully what this is hinting towards is that there is going to be some sort of other dungeon that will have something to do with mosquitoes or like a bug related mob or something like that. That is just complete 100% speculation on my part though. That is not confirmed at all. I just want to make that clear for you guys. We also know there's going to be a new epic talisman in the update in terms of like actual information about that talisman or its name or anything like that, even though we have no idea, but we know it's an epic talisman. So for those of you who have already completed your talisman collection, hey, you'll now have something else to go for, so congratulations. Then the next thing that is supposedly going to be coming with this upcoming update is like a whole thing of minion balancing. I'll put up this big like potential change log on the screen right now. I'm not going to cover everything on this list. Just one key point though I do want to cover that I see on here though is buff back clay price from 2 to 3, but nerf the time between action by approximately 20% each level. So I'm not really sure what the math would come out to on this in terms of whether or not this is actually going to be a buff for clay minions or a nerf when you factor in the time between action nerf. But what I think is interesting about this, and a big tip for you guys out there right now who are either planning on setting up clay minions or have some set up right now, is that if this actually is going to be happening, a really good idea in my opinion would be to not sell your clay at 2 per clay right now, but to instead just store it all up until this update drops, and then you can sell it all at $3 instead of $2. Obviously then after that batch you won't be able to get it as fast, but hey, I think that's still a pretty useful tip right there. There's also supposedly going to be some pretty significant changes to the zealots in the end. I'm not actually going to cover that in this video though, so if you guys are interested in that, make sure you head over to the forum post and read up all about that. But then that is actually going to do it for all the confirmed stuff, but we do still have like some speculation stuff to get into that he has recently added to the forum post, which, just like I was hoping, these speculations actually hint towards there definitely being multiple dungeons, which I think would just be so amazing. You know, if we do only get one dungeon to run through when this update finally drops, I'll be okay with it. But if we could somehow get like 3 or 4 or maybe even like 5 somehow, I think that would just be like super, super amazing. It would make the wait for this update totally worth it. But yeah, the first speculation here is that there is going to be some sort of like spider themed dungeon, which the rumor for this actually came about when Minikloon, one of the admins on Hypixel, tweeted a Twitter picture of just a cave spider and a spider minion on his island with just the text of a question mark. So pretty cryptic tweet here, but it seems that this is either hinting towards there being obviously a cave spider or spider dungeon, or maybe these two minions will have a new use in the upcoming update. Then the only other speculation I want to cover here has to do with another dungeon. The evidence for this rumor is pretty weak as well, probably even weaker than the spider themed dungeon rumor. But basically there has been a pretty big rumor circulating over the past like 2 weeks or so that there is going to be some sort of water themed dungeon. So the evidence for this rumor is coming from, I guess, Minikloon, also in the Discord somewhere, posted a picture of a squid. Which again, just like his tweet, pretty cryptic. It seems like Minikloon likes to deal in secrecy. But then there also has apparently been some mention by the admin Jay Overman that Diver's armor is going to be getting a buff in the upcoming update. And that is actually like a rumor that I've heard a lot about recently. I've definitely seen a couple people buying up sets of Diver's armor because they believe that that is going to be pretty crucial for one of the upcoming dungeons in the new update. Obviously though, that is totally unconfirmed, so don't go out buying Diver's armor for like super expensive and then it tanks in price when the dungeons update comes out because it wasn't useful, and you come and yell at me because I told you that you needed Diver's armor for the update. Okay, it's just total speculation. But yeah, with that rumor done, I think that pretty much wraps up everything I have to say for this upcoming update. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. If you did, make sure to let me know so in the comment section down below. I'm really interested to hear if this is something you guys would like to see more of on the channel. I actually really enjoyed going through all this information, so hopefully you guys enjoyed listening to it, and hopefully you'll learn some new things about this upcoming update and are even more excited for it than you were before. Also, be sure to let me know if you guys would like to see another video in the near future where I kind of cover some stuff that you could do to potentially prepare for this upcoming update, because I know there are a lot of you out there who are kind of bored on Hypixel Skyblock right now and don't know what to do at the moment. So maybe if I made that video for you guys, I could kind of let you know some things that you could be working on while you wait for this update to drop. But yeah, that'll do it for this video, guys. Drop a like if you did enjoy it and you have not done so already. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well if you are not at the moment, and I will see you guys in my next video, hopefully very soon. See you guys then. Peace.